Hello and welcome to my channel In Search of Wonder. My name is Anne and this is day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. Today I want to talk about a set of 10 books that will self-destruct at the end of December 2026. 1 year from now, if I have not read these books, they will be gone from my shelf forever. What books am I talking about? I have 10 books on my shelf that I have collected from a variety of places, from a variety of reasons. Each of these books I picked up, most of them used, actually I think all of them used. I picked them up because at some point I was interested in them and I wanted to read them. But here they sit, languishing on my shelf, year after year, some of them for many years, and I have not yet read them. Initially, at some point, I genuinely wanted to read them. Now, will I ever? Well, this is the year. If I don't read them, they're going to go away forever. So, what books are on my stack? This is, by the way, part of my managing my inventory goal for for the whole year of 2026. I mentioned that I want to do a better job of managing my book inventory, in particular my physical TBR, the books that I have that I want to read. I want to make sure that I am actually reading them and or getting rid of them if I'm not reading them. There's no point in holding on to them forever and ever and ever if I'm not going to read them. At the same time, it's really hard to let them go because I don't know if I like them or not. So this will force me to either read these 10 books or just get rid of them. So I will go through them, show you what they are, and tell you why I picked them up and what's been holding me back from reading it if I have a reason. First up is Deadline by Randy Alcorn. This book, this author, I should say, Randy Alcorn, I have read a fiction book by him and a nonfiction book by him. Loved them both. This, however, is not a genre I typically would read. I'm not even sure exactly what it is. I don't know how you would classify it as speculative, dystopian, apocalyptic. I don't really know. Something along those lines, more suspenseful, more action-filled. That's not usually my go-to sort of book that I like to read. So that's why I'm wondering, I don't know, will I like it or not? And that's why I haven't picked it up yet to read it. It's just not a genre I'm drawn to, generally speaking. So I know I like his writing. Will I actually like this book? I'm hesitant, so it's still on my shelf. And then I was listening to Shelley Swearingen's video, I don't know, it's been a year or so ago, and it was about, I think, historical fiction recommendations, and she mentioned this author. And as I was listening to the video, I was on my way to a library book sale, and at the library book sale, I found a book by this author that she mentioned. Not the specific book, I don't think, but the author. And the author is Sharon K. Penman. The particular book I picked up was Cruel as the Grave, and I love this cover. So it was definitely, in part, a cover pick. Gorgeous cover. This is a medieval story, and it's not my favorite timeline in history to read about. I don't hate it, but it's not something that I'm often drawn to when I'm in the mood for historical fiction. However, I'm not opposed to reading about books set in medieval times. Secondly, I think it's YA. I'm not 100% sure about that. The length of it and some things I've read about it or seen about it make me think that it's YA, but I'm not really sure. So let me know in the comments if that's the case. I don't really like YA, so I don't know. But I am interested in reading it. I love the cover. It's apparently an excellent author, although I've never actually read anything by her. It comes well recommended. So I want to read it without just dismissing it, but at the same time I'm hesitant. This was totally a cover pick that I got at a book exchange, and it is After Alice by Gregory Maguire. I love this vellum cover that is over this beautiful hardcover, this map. It is like a sequel to Alice in Wonderland, which is fun, a fun concept. I'm just not sure that I will like Gregory Maguire's work. I've never read anything by him. I have loved the musical Wicked, but I've heard things about the book that it's not as good. I don't know if I would enjoy his writing or not. I have no idea. If you've read this, let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm thinking I may not love it. So that's why I haven't actually picked it up. But I've been loath to get rid of it because I don't know if I like it or not. And also because the cover is so gorgeous. Then this one, this is not a cover pick. This cover is kind of dated looking. Mrs. De Winter by Susan Hill. Never read anything by Susan Hill, but it is again, a sequel to Rebecca. So another sequel to an established classic. And the idea intrigues me. I do like Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, but it's not my favorite classic. I do love the prose and the writing style. Daphne du Maurier was definitely an excellent writer, and she has some of the most beautiful writing and a very atmospheric writing. However, I didn't love the storyline and I did not love the characters at all in Rebecca. So I'm not sure that I really want to read the continuation of their story. At the same time, that book, Rebecca, definitely kind of leaves you wanting more at the end. Like, you want to know more about these characters. It's a very, at least when it comes to the ending, how the story ends, how everything gets resolved or not, there's a lot that's left unsaid. There's a lot that's left to the imagination. So reading someone else's imagination about what it might have been is intriguing. So the idea intrigues me for sure, but the actual execution of it, I'm not sure how good it would be. It definitely, I doubt it could measure up to Daphne du Maurier's writing. I don't know. I'm hesitant. And would I like these characters anymore in this version than I do in the original? I don't know. So that's why I haven't read it. And then this one, this is funny. Somewhere online, I got this recommendation for this book, Scarlet by Genevieve Cogman. And it intrigued me because it is a retelling of The Scarlet Pimpernel. So I do love The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Amuska Orczy, I think is her name. I love that book. And I love, there's a movie based on the book that I also love. Fun story, fun classic to read. But I ordered it from like thrift books or something. And it wasn't until I actually got the book that I was like, okay. So let me read the description up here. France, 1793. So far, so good. Revolutionary War in France. Wouldn't mind reading a book set in that time period. Revolutionaries want blood. Okay, sure. The next sentence. But vampires bite back. And then I took a closer look at the painting on the front. Yeah. It's a historical fiction, classic retelling with vampires. Definitely not my thing. Not ever. So I don't know. Will I like it? Probably not. But I purposely bought it because it was recommended as a Scarlet Pimpernel retelling. So I kind of want to read it, but I think I'm going to hate it. I don't know. And then we have Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker by Jennifer Chiaverini. Chiaverini, not really sure. But anyway, I have read another book by her that I enjoyed that was about Ada Lovelace, the inventor of the computer. She was in the 19th century at some point. And I really enjoyed the story. It really stuck with me, and it was very well written, very well researched, an excellent book. And I love biographical novels. This is in the same lines, but of course about different people. So I am very interested in reading it. However, I do know that the book about Ada Lovelace, I forget the name of it, but that one, while there were so many wonderful things about it that I loved, and in the end I really loved it as a book and would recommend it, it was very long and it was very detailed and it was a little bit on the dry side. So I am thinking that this one will be similar, and so I just haven't picked it up, even though I think in the end I can get past the length of it and the dry aspect of it because I think it will still be worth reading. I think it will probably still stick with me. I think that Jennifer Chiaverini will do justice to the characters here and the story she's telling. I just know that it's going to be a little bit time consuming, a little bit more mentally involved than a quick and easy read. So for that reason, I haven't picked it up yet, but I really do want to. Ragtime by E.L. Doctorow. I loved the musical, and I have since I was young, a teenager. And I have wanted to read the story. I've tried it once, I gave up. I just don't know that E.L. Doctorow's writing style will really agree with me. I know I really enjoyed the story that he was telling with Ragtime, but will I enjoy the way it's told in the book? Will it ruin the musical for me? I don't know. So that's why I haven't actually picked it up again, especially since I DNF'd it once. I don't know. Then I have Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. This one I picked up because I read Gentleman in Moscow by him and really enjoyed it. It's not a favorite book of mine, like forever and ever, but it was very much enjoyable, and obviously his writing was really very good. So I think that there were things that I will enjoy about Rules of Civility. I'm just not sure that the story interests me, and it is more literary writing. Not always in the mood for that, especially contemporary literary writers. Their style doesn't always agree with me. Now, I had no problems with A Gentleman in Moscow in that sense, from that perspective, but I don't know. I just, something holds me back because I'm afraid that I'm not actually going to enjoy it, and that it will be more of a chore than something that I will love. So I don't know. If you've read it, tell me what you think. And then Twain's End by Lynn Cullen. This is another biographical novel, which is, again, one of my favorite genres. And so I'm always picking up books like this. This one does intrigue me. I don't know. Mark Twain, of all of the authors, I find him an interesting and a fascinating person, but I'm not so sure that I want to read about him, particularly this particular episode in his life. It seems like there's potentially some scandal, potentially some questions about Mark Twain's behavior, but also questions about this woman who was his secretary or assistant. And this is one perspective on what went down. I don't know enough about the whole scenario that is taking place in this book to know like what is true, what is fact, what is fiction. And I'm afraid that in reading this book, like, it's going to force me to take a side, and then I don't know enough about it to take a side. And so I'm afraid that I'm going to get, stuck in a quagmire of questions about historical secrets and scandals, etc., which is silly because it doesn't really matter in the end. I don't know. So I haven't picked it up. Too much thinking involved, I guess. And finally, this one, A Hope Undaunted by Julie Lessman. And I have read books by Julie Lessman. Some I have loved, some I have not. And I'm afraid this is going to be one that I will not love. Like, it's very hit or miss for me. And also, I think in part it depends on my mood. So this one is set in the 20s, I think, which again is not my super favorite time frame to read about. But I also don't necessarily hate it. So I don't know. It is a little bit long for a historical romance, which is essentially what this will be. So I don't know why I haven't picked it up to actually read it, just to find out if I like it or not. It's still on my shelf. So, but it won't be for long. Either I'm going to read it or not, and then it's going to be gone at the end of 2026. So those are my 10 books that will self-destruct at the end of 2026 if I don't read them. And maybe even before then, because as I was pulling out this stack, I was like, maybe I can just get rid of this and unhaul it before I even read it. Maybe I don't even need to read it, but we'll see as the year goes on if I am inspired to read them or not. I'm not going to force myself to pick them up and read them unless I have a desire to. And if that doesn't happen by the end of the year, well, then so long. Farewell to those books. Let me know in the comments if you would read any of them, if you have, and if you recommend them to me, if you think I would like them, or if you think I wouldn't like it, and you can just tell me, hey, Anne, just unhaul that and don't even bother because I know you're not gonna love it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Come back tomorrow and I will have my January TBR ready to share, and we can all talk about what we're going to read in January. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.